weather is not really cooperating. It's not exactly hot and sunny, but that's no excuse to not get out and walk through our beautiful city. And that's kind of the theme of today's show. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. On today's show, thousands of cruise ship passengers will descend upon the hub city this week, the early arrival of the tent caterpillar, and keeping the content current at community libraries. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Annette Lucas. I'm filling in for Kate Bergen, who couldn't be here today. We're at Diana Krall Plaza, downtown Nanaimo, for the 4th annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes Nanaimo Men's March to raise money for the Haven Society. Now, there are dozens of men behind me that are sizing up their feet, putting on some very large shoes for this event. And it looks funny, and it is a fun event, but the sole purpose of this event is to raise awareness and talk about a very difficult subject, and that's sexual persecution, violence against women. So we're going to find out more with the event organizer, Ann Spilker, a little bit later on in today's show. Now, talking about hoofing it around downtown Nanaimo, I had the chance to speak to the CEO for the Port Authority to find out about cruise ships. There are 7 coming this year. One's in town today, and there'll be thousands of people walking through our beautiful city. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're here at Diana Krall Plaza for the men's Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, the men's march to help the Haven Society. I'm speaking with Ann Spilker, who is the executive director from Haven Society, to find out what this event is all about. And what is today?
Well, today really is men walking in support of ending violence against women and children.
And how important is it to you to have this event and have the participation from these men?
Well, I think it's really important. It's important because so often in our work, we see men as perpetrators, and we forget that that's a small portion of the population, that the majority of men are actually good men, and this proves that. I mean, men show up and walk for us.
How many men have signed up for today's event?
I think there's about 30 plus.
That's a good turnout.
Mm-hmm.
How much money is raised from this?
Well, it raises, last year we raised about 12,000, 13,000, so it's a significant amount.
Okay, this year we're downtown here, right in the core of downtown Nanaimo, and the venue has changed the location. It's the first time in 4 years that it's in this circuit. Why the change?
Well, first of all, we felt there were enough men walking to make it worthwhile to have it downtown, and our parking lot at Haven is getting too small. And we just wanted to branch out and make it bigger and make the community really more aware. And I think downtown is a happening place these days, so it's a great place to be.
It is. It's about a 1 mile walk just around the outside here.
Yes.
Just a couple more things for you, Ann, and that's just about the men that are here today. You've had some guys that have returned a few times. What does it mean that they're coming out here for this?
Well, I think it means that, they realize that violence against women is also a men's issue. It's not just a women's issue. And I think boys are hugely affected in families where there's violence against women. And it's great for them to have role models.
All right. Thank you very much, Ann Spilker, for today's event. Now, I am not wearing my stilettos because I'm smart enough to wear flats, but I brought mine along, and I'm going to try and find a Prince Charming to wear these ones on the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. But in the meantime, we're going to throw to Kelly Robinson, who found out about a creature who has many, many feet, and I'm glad we don't have to put shoes on them. She found out about tent caterpillar invasions here in Nanaimo. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. Today is all about understanding women's issues. We're at the Nanaimo Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event, a fundraiser for the Haven Society. After this short break, we're going to find out more what it takes to be a participant. I'll be speaking to one of the guys who have donned stilettos for today's event. Still ahead, visually impaired children receive specialized help to meet their daily challenges, and a community library with a 40-year history. That and more still to come today on Go Island. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're at the Nanaimo men's Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, and I'm still looking for my prince to fit into these shoes. So we're going to try and see if we can get a guy to wear these stilettos here. So, Brian, excuse me, can I see if this is going to fit into your foot? Can you stretch that in there? I don't think it's going to work today.
No, I don't think so.
Well, even though I haven't found my prince, all of the men here are knights in shining armor for helping the Haven Society raise awareness and raise funds. Brian, why are you participating today?
I'm here to support my mother, who's passed away, but when I was younger, my brother and I experienced violence in the home. And through that, my mother went through some very tough times, and if a support system like Haven Society had been here at that time, it could have been a different situation. So I totally support what Haven supplies.
How often, how many times have you done this, Brian?
This is my second year.
Second
Yes.
time? You came back for more punishment?
I did, yes.
Didn't those feet hurt after wearing those stilettos?
My feet, no. My calves maybe were a little tight, yes.
Okay, from that experience, did you learn to do any kind of stretching or anything like that today?
Yes, I did a little bit of stretching this morning, yes.
And you're ready. Now, can I ask you what size your feet are?
Mine are a 10, but I'm looking at these 13s. These are the only ones available.
You
But
got to see these shoes.
I definitely like the pattern, so I'm sticking to it.
Those are pretty fancy.
My 6-year-old daughter loves heart, so how can I go wrong there?
And I don't think she's seen Daddy in high heel shoes very often.
No.
There are people all over the world and all over BC that face challenges of some sort or another, including little people. Visually impaired children receive help from the Sunny Hill Visual Impairment Program, which in turn receives help from the World of Smiles Telethon. The World of Smiles Telethon is a major fundraiser for BC Children's Hospital. You can watch it all here on Shaw TV Channel 4 on May 26 from 5 to 11 p.m. To find out what's happening in our community, stay tuned for the Get Up and Go community calendar. Well, I've been wearing heels for the better part of 35 years. These men today on the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes have only been wearing them for about 15 minutes. One of the participants, Gary O'Brien from the RCMP, how does it feel putting on these heels today?
Well, I did a little bit of dryland training, but it didn't help because I'm starting to develop a blister on my left foot. So I think I may have to take the year off and come back next year even stronger.
A year off of wearing high heels.
That's right.
Gary, very difficult subject here is raising awareness against sexual persecution against women. Why are you doing this?
Well, it certainly is. I mean, for myself, I want to have awareness because I represent the RCMP on a daily basis, and it's important that the public see that I also appreciate the fact that women go through terrible atrocities through domestic violence, and that as men, we have to take a stand against that. Just not today, but on a daily basis. We have to see the young boys in our community, seeing men like myself stepping up and walking and embarrassing ourselves with heels, and it's okay because it's a good cause.
That's right, it's all for good cause. Thank you very much, Gary, and I hope your heel blister recovers.
I'm sure it will.
You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're at the Nanaimo Men's Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. Now, another group looking for community support is, of course, the Nanaimo Community Library, who has been a focal point for the last 40 years. Jocelyn Matry has more. To be able to provide books for all to read, there is going to be a flea market at Nanaimo Library Center on Saturday, May 18th from 9 until 2 p.m. to raise a little cash. That's exactly what's been happening here in downtown Nanaimo. The Walk a Mile in Her Shoes Nanaimo Men's March to help the Haven Society. Dozens of men have donned some stilettos and high heels platforms, all in a good name and a good cause on today's Go Island for Shaw TV Channel 4.